variety of different UAPs and UFO shapes that we see. Like everybody's familiar with the UFOs of the 50s and after, which were actually like circular saucers. And then obviously we have like the Phoenix lights, like these boomerang type of craft. If you want to describe them as craft, because I think just that the word that we've been throwing around, but nobody can really tell us that they are craft. But the phenomena then has orbs also, these light balls, like some call it the Foo Fighters or orbs. So whether it be orbs or triangles or saucers, Jacques Vallée said that we were interfacing with a higher intelligence, and that intelligence projected what basically the human mind interpreted based on what the human mind knew, the information in the human mind, and you saw something basically that was subjective. So every viewer or experiencer saw something that was subjective to their own experience. If they knew of ships that flew, you would see ships that fly. If you knew of orbs, you would see orbs. And if you saw a UFO movie with saucers, you would see flying saucers. I always thought that even though he wasn't talking about the UFO hypotheses, like he never thought like, there were aliens, that theory always struck me because it basically explained everything. And whatever the explanation is for UAP or UFOs or whatever phenomena you want to call, it needs to encompass everything. It can't be a piecemeal solution. Like whatever's happening has to be definitive of the whole. And I think Jacques Vallée, even though recently I've read that he might have changed his mind on that, but I've always liked that theory because it explained why people saw different types of crafts or things in the sky, everything from the orbs to the triangles to the circular to the Tic Tac, right? Or a big aspirin, whatever you want to describe as. Another theory would be that whatever is the origin of these things, they're being created for a very specific purpose. Like everything you observe in the sky or UAP or craft has a specific use, and that specific use, once it is done, they disassemble or they break that particular craft down. And as time has changed, maybe their mission or whatever their purpose has changed over time and they have accomplished different purposes. We've seen maybe a change in craft throughout the years. And I think a lot of it has to do with like bias, like whatever's in the media or in the, in the public domain at the time. That's why I was talking about disclosure there. I think when people have certain expectations, they tend to put those expectations on whatever they see. Even with the Tic Tac shape, when some might refer to that case with that police officer on the side of the road, it's all like an oval egg shape. So some of the shapes do seem to repeat, but whatever it is might be actually more weirder and stranger than we've actually even thought about. Like David Grush recently said that we are dealing with plasmoid beings, where basically what explained the orbs. That's the other thing about UAP. Are we dealing with living craft like, like the creature in Nope? Or are we dealing with physical hardware? And crash retrieval sounds like we're dealing with physical hardware. That's why the phenomena is so strange, because so many things are encompassed within the phenomena. If you think about crop circles, you think about encounters of the third kind, you think about things in the air, you think about people observing orbs in their homes. Like the phenomena is so weird and highly strange, and it shifts and it changes depending on at the time. So it's really hard to put your finger on what you're actually dealing with. So it may be that if we ever do get to the bottom of it, that it might be multiple explanations to what we're seeing. It could be physical craft or vehicles. USOs and UAPs may be the same exact thing. And again, these things are maybe across medium. They go from air to water, and there's no limitation. And besides Jacques Vallée's explanation, have you ever come across a theory that explains all the shapes? Put in the comments.